Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Mike Holloway, winner of Survivor Worlds Apart. And you're about to listen to a podcast with two best friends that love to talk about the game that we all love, Survivor. So sit back, grab a Dr. Pepper, because I'm 155,000% sure you're about to love to listen to Dwaine and Dave. Take it away, guys.
Welcome to the show. I'm Dwaine.
And I'm David.
And we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. Everybody, I would like for you to say hello, although she won't hear you, so I'll have her say hello to you. Jordan from Durham Warrior Survival Challenge, otherwise also known as Jordan from Illinois. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
And for those of you who are watching...
That was good, Jordan, because if you didn't say hello, he was just going to keep introducing you at some
That's
point.
right. I kind of got lost in the introduction.
Well, hey, before we finish with Jordan, Mike K wanted to say hi. He's in the chat room watching
Hey,
us.
Mike.
Hi, Mike. Oh,
No, he's talking
he
to
wasn't
Jordan.
saying hi to us.
Yeah, he was just saying hi to Jordan.
No, he was saying, guys, you need to turn your camera 42.3 degrees to the left. I love Mike. For those of you watching live or watching afterwards, her name is pronounced Shekowitz.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Shekowitz.
Oh, boy.
I will be the only D of D&D pronouncing Jordan's last name.
I want to hear David say it.
All right, go ahead, David.
KO. What did you say, Shekowitz?
Shekowitz.
You got it.
Okay, ask
You
me an
got
hour
it.
from now, and it won't come out anything like that.
Yes.
Let me write it down phonetically.
Yeah.
So real quick, phonetically, there are no phonetics for Shekowitz.
You're right, because it doesn't look anything like the way she spells.
Yeah, I don't know. She went from Jordan Smith to Jordan Shekowitz or something.
It was close. It was Jordan Becker.
What do your students call you?
They say Mrs. Shekowitz.
They do
Or
not.
I have one kid that at the beginning of the year, she called me Mrs. Cigarette.
Now, how old are your kids in the class?
They're in kindergarten, so they're 5 and 6.
5 and 6. You're making
Yep.
5 and 6-year-olds say Shekowitz.
They do pretty well at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting through kindergarten is simple. It's getting past the teacher's name.
Yeah, really.
Exactly.
Can we just call you Miss Jordan, please? Yeah.
Some of them
parents
go-
calling you.
Some of them go with Mrs. Ash.
All right.
But
Well, thank you to our listeners. Thanks to our listeners, we made it into the top 100 of TV and film podcast on iTunes for at least one day, and that was pretty exciting. I don't check it every day, so maybe we've been there before, but I don't know. It seems like this season the podcast seems to be building. So thank you for all of you that helped do that, and you help by subscribing. That's what really gets you moved up. So keep subscribing. Thanks to all of you who bought shirts and hoodies. Jordan, why don't you show them your shirt?
yeah,
There you go.
I'm proud of it.
Jordan's got her Survivor Talk with D&D shirt on. You should be getting them soon. In fact, you probably already got your emails, and so you'll be getting those. Thank you. We'll do another campaign in the spring or something because Joe wants us to sell. Joe Englum wants us to sell like muscle shirts. So, oh well.
Nice.
Thanks to Drew Downs for our new overlays. Got a new look on the video. So hope you like that. We have a lot to cover tonight. We've got a recap. We've got feedback. We've got iTunes reviews. We've got Miko's challenge. You know, Jordan, as long as you're here, you can just... Who would you like to play with?
Well, I'll help you, Dwaine, but I'm not going to be very good at it.
You know, she's used to working with kindergartners, so she might as well.
We've got fantasy points. My friends David and I and our respective teams are closer than we've ever been. And at this level, we're in the 400, 500 range, and at that level to be as close as we are is phenomenal. We will tell you about that. So those of you who are watching live, stwdd.com/live, enjoy yourselves, chat away. David, I will try to keep his head away from the chat room the whole time. Do not ask him questions.
They keep talking. So.
Well, yeah, to themselves, to each other. But anyway, if you're watching live, you can also hashtag STWDD on Twitter, and I will see it and put it up on the screen. So check out our 4 D&D bloggers this week. Jordan,
Yeah.
you should write a blog, don't you think?
I don't think I would be very good at it.
No? Okay. All right.
Thanks,
We got
though.
one shout out to do, and then we're going to recap. Shout out to Harmony Stahl. She is our newest D&D patron. She is part of the select few who go above and beyond in their support of the show with as little as $1 a month. Thank you, Harmony Stahl, for being our newest patron. All right, David. What episode was it, and what's the title?
I believe it was episode 6, and it was called, I think, Bunking with the Devil.
Yeah, and
which
Jordan?
I was completely wrong about. It was not
Who
about
said
Eddie.
it? That's right, it wasn't. And who did I say it was about 2 weeks ago? David.
Spencer.
No, I said it was about Cass. I did. I thought Tasha was going to say it. I didn't know Spencer was going to say it.
I don't listen to our shows. So
Yes. You know
I
what,
don't even
David?
listen while we're doing the show, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right, I'm not going to tell anything else, David, on that. Go ahead, Jordan. Who said bunking with the devil?
Spencer.
That's right.
Yes, he
Nerd
did.
herd points.
That's right, because you need them, David.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's all I can get.
Jordan, we do a little thing on the show called Initial Thoughts. And
Yeah.
So do you have any initial thoughts?
I do. I just want to say that you never want Jeff showing up at your camp unannounced, because usually it's not good.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I completely agree.
He's either going to take something away from you, like a shelter, or
Yeah.
he's going to
Yeah.
tell you that someone in your family is
Yeah.
not doing well.
Right,
That's good. That's on that short list of you don't want to go to tribal and you don't want probes showing up at your camp unannounced.
right.
That's right.
Now, it's not as bad if you're all asleep because you don't have the anxiety of watching the boat come up.
That's true.
Because then if you're all awake, you're going, all right, which one of you cheated? Which one of you is getting our rice taken away? Eat it all right now before he gets on the island.
Yeah, you just get freaked out when he wakes you up saying,
Yeah,
hey, wake up. Come with
that's
me.
right. So that's a good initial thought. I have one. This is not the cast from her last season, but will it bite her in the butt or will it help her win? There's a lot of controversy going on. Should she have gotten rid of Spencer when she had a chance, or did she make the right move by sticking with Sierra? Up for debate. We'll talk about it later on in the show. But my initial thought, this is not the cast that we saw last in Cagayan. David, you got an initial thought?
I got a couple, but for those that may not know, Dwaine and I differ slightly on initial thoughts. Dwaine and I differ on every category that we talk about because thumbs up, thumbs down, best in show, whatever. Initial thoughts for Dwaine are funny, quick, and short. Mine are like conversation pieces.
Oh no, David wrote a book again.
Well, it's just the first one really, and it's funny because as big and this is something I've been talking about every week. I'm sure Jordan knows because she's been listening, but as big a redemption story as we're getting for Spencer. We're getting this. I talked about it last week that it's Cochran's redemption story, like it's Spencer 2.0, and he's going through all these phases. The funny thing is, we're getting 3/4 of a underdog story of this guy trying to do everything right, but he's missed getting voted out 3 times because of something somebody else did, either wrong or said. It's nothing to do with him. What has he done to avoid getting voted out these 3 times? I mean, he's appealed to Jeremy, but Jeremy sees how desperate he is, and Jeremy wants him more than he does. But still, Monica messed up. It could have, if Kimmy had gone along with Monica, it could have been Spencer. This time, Savage messed up. The time before, Shireen messed up when she came back to camp and said, we need to get Varner, and Varner went for Shireen instead of Spencer. He's been saved by the grace of votes and by people's mistakes when it comes to tribal council. But during the episode, we're getting all this new Spencer, new and improved Spencer, the social Spencer. I just think it's hilarious that we're getting this arc of his where some people think it's a winner's edit. But when it comes to tribal council, it's a lucky edit at the end there. That was one of my initial thoughts because it happened again where he got saved because somebody messed up.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, the Andy Baker of initial thoughts.
That was for Andy. Yes, that was.
You could write a blog, David. My weekly. No, I'm just kidding.
My other ones are much shorter. So.
I have another initial thought. God gave us a gag reflex for a reason. Say about that,
Cry on
Jordan.
command, right?
Man, because some things are not supposed to be going down my throat, and all that stuff on that table are great examples. All right,
Yeah.
Jordan.
That was my only one.
So your second initial thought is initial thoughts aren't as easy to come up with.
Yes.
All right,
Exactly.
David. David, you got another one?
Dwayne writes them down immediately. I think about them, and then I think longer on them, and then it's not really an initial thought.
They're not
anymore.
initial thoughts anymore.
But it was a thought that came from the episode. So yes, I do have plenty. But, just another rule in the David Book of Survivor is to listen more than you talk. It's hard for people who normally are listened to in life, but you have to leave life and personal traits at the front door when playing Survivor. And Savage inserted instead of asked. He really, who knows what's going to happen down the road, but in that situation, he immediately messed up by not opening up the floor for thoughts, and then you Kim Sprattling your thought into the conversation. But when you throw your thought out, to me, it was almost like he was the mature older man counseling the younger girl players and it's guiding them to what they need to do instead of, no matter what age you are, you still got to show respect for the person. And we'll talk about him picking Sierra later, but that was one of my another thoughts immediately, just a mistaken survivor. You need to listen more than you talk. Do you have more, Dwayne?
Yes,
Should
I
go
have
through my
2
six
more.
Okay, go ahead.
David.
I don't have 6
Why get rid of Wu or Savage? Wu has been winning for you and has no strategy. Why did they get rid of Wu and not Savage? We'll talk about that later on in the show, too.
Yes, we will. My opinion of Jeremy going far in this game is gradually flipping. I really thought, like Andy Baker wrote in his early columns, that him saying that somebody was going to mess this up, he hoped nobody messed it up. That was like a clue that something was going to happen to mess up his game. His game is just getting not easier for him, but it's like it's coming to the way he wants it. Everything's falling the way he wants it. He's having a good run, good success. He's got people working the way he wants to, and man, he's just looking better and better. I mean, his edit to me is better than Spencer's. I think he's got a very much better edit than he had last time. He was struggling last time at this point. He was fighting forces and stuff, but he's not target. I love the meat shield plan. Keep the meat shields in the game.
Well, Spencer and Cass are both getting more than anyone else the second chance edit. We are playing our games differently. They are truly the ones that are getting that. You can't really give a second chance edit to Kelly. The fact that her dad's not there is enough, right?
Yeah, really.
Keith, he's just playing the same game. There's not really a second chance for Keith.
He's almost more invisible than he was the first
Yeah,
time.
we barely have seen him.
Yeah. Sierra, this episode, I'll talk about it later, is starting to change up a little bit. We might get a little more second chance edit for her. Joe's just being Joe. He was Joe last time. He's Joe this time. And you go on. It's just, the main two are Spencer and Cass.
Speaking of invisible, that was one of my other initial thoughts was, what happened to Abby? Because we've been waiting to hear her vote out Wu or say his name or do something. I don't even think she had one confessional.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the point list yet, but where did she go?
Yeah, well, she agreed with Cass and Sierra.
I thought it was a great Abby
She didn't have any arguing to do, so.
Right. Although I do like the look she gave to Wu when he got voted off. Uh-huh. Don't mess with the Abby. You don't mess with the Abby.
And then when Spencer looked at her, said, I guess he looked at her, said, thank you. She looked at him like, that's right, you owe me now.
Yeah, guess who owes me? All right, I got one more. I think Savage snuck teeth whitener on the island. Every time he smiled, I had to turn down the brightness on the television. My goodness.
He smiled a lot, too.
I mean, God doesn't even make teeth that white. I mean, those are not real teeth. Okay. There you go. Previously on, Probst did not mention everyone that got Monica voted out. I got to get this thing more organized. Here we go. He forgot to mention production.
Where's the crickets?
Yes, there are some that believe that production intervened and convinced Kimmy and the others that Monica needed to go more than the Spencer and the other. So there you go. Kelly.
She's so invisible you forgot who she was.
Yeah, Wiggles. Kelly Wiggles. All right. I liked how the moon dissolved to the reptile eye. Did y'all notice that?
I did not.
To the lizard's eye. They got the shot of the moon, and then because you're looking at the moon, you don't even notice that you're now looking at an eye of a lizard.
Hmm.
It was really cool.
I'll have to go back and watch that.
Yeah. Hope I saw it right since I said that.
Yeah.
So it's Takeo Night 13. It's between 1:30 and 2 a.m. based on Probst's interview with Dalton Ross. If you have not read Dalton Ross's interview with Probst, where he explains what happened, I highly suggest it. Eerie music. Probst finds Savage and wakes him up. And no option here.
He finds Terry, not Savage.
That's what I meant.
This
is why we have Jordan on the show. It's like my wife's behind me. I actually wrote Savage. What an idiot. Probst finds Dietz and wakes him up. No option. You are going home. And we know that because Dalton Ross said that Jeff said it wasn't an option. His wife and doctor said, you're coming home. So. Any comments on that? Anybody? No?
Nope.
David?
No, I wrote down. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, because I said something earlier about previously on, and you just cut me off and kept talking. So
I didn't hear you, man. I'm sorry.
I'm used to it. It's okay. I wrote down, for some reason, I wrote down where he said, I don't like having chills. And there's so many different medical reasons to have chills, but one of them is fear.
Yeah.
And that so expressed exactly what he was feeling as a parent and stuff. I can't even fathom. We talked about that today with Steve, and I can't even fathom what it would be like to be so far away from your child and then not have all the details, just being told you've got a long. He knew how long a trip he had to get back.
Yeah.
Just the fear that was running through him for a guy as strong as Terry to go through.
Yeah. That would be tough to deal with, and like not knowing what's going on.
Right. My wife said this ranks right up there with scooping falling in the fire as far as the intenseness of it, the intensity of it, you know.
And they know how much he loves this game, and for them to say you have to come home.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And by the way, for those of you who are playing the D&D Survivor Challenge and you are tallying your own scores and everything, and if your score is different on Dietz, we are not attributing Dietz with any points for this. He was not medically evacuated, and he did not quit, nor did he choose to leave. They told him to leave. And we do not have a point for CBS tells you have to leave. So no points for his evacuation if you're playing the game. What is that sound? Who is that?
Is that from me?
I don't know. Do you have neighbors yelling at each other?
My husband is downstairs playing ping pong, I think.
Oh, nice. Just another way to get on the show.
I know, right? He got kicked out of the room, so now he just has to be loud.
And what's really bad is he's playing with the other side up. He's playing by himself. And he's...
I think his brother-in-law, I think his brother is down there playing.
Oh, okay. One thing that we did not see, and Probst said that he wishes they had a camera on the boat, but Probst gave Savage his cell phone and let him talk to his son when they got on the boat.
You should really read your notes before you come on and talk about Dietz and Savage.
Did I say Savage again?
Yes.
Dadgummit.
It's such a serious moment, and you.
I know, it's because I wrote it on the notes like an idiot.
He let
Dietz.
I almost said it. Use his phone.
Yeah, he let Dietz use his phone. Y'all, I'm really sorry. That is not acceptable. I will not do that again. So, and then Cass is absolutely right, and I just wanted to let you hear it.
I think you have to be a parent to understand how devastating it would be to be out here and get a call that your child is sick and you need to get home. I just can't imagine.
Be well, good luck, kick some ass, keep it up.
Be good, Mike.
To have someone have to go home like this, it's worse than a medevac. It's worse than anything you can imagine in Survivor. It's just a reminder of how quickly things can change. I feel for him. He's a good dad. We're going to keep him in our thoughts and hope for the best. And hopefully when he gets home, it's all good.
And then cold open to the logo, no intro.
Yeah,
Way to go, CBS.
Even a little bit later when Joe says it took the wind out of our sails. I mean, even though Terry was the first vote out, they were still planning hopefully never to go to tribal council.
Right.
You know, this guy is super strong, super positive. He fishes for the tribe and stuff. He takes care of everybody, and just to be woken up and saying, "Hey, you're losing one of your strongest people possible, one of your most positive people," and it's hard enough to listen to why he had to go, but just to be told this in the game, you know, not to be insensitive about it, but still the game's going on without him. And they got to deal with losing such a strong person of their tribe. It's just,
right.
I can imagine it's like a shot to the gut. Like Joe said the next morning, took the wind out of our sails.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the reward challenge. And where is Takeo? They're not there yet. Dramatic pause. And they come in. No Terry. Savage is there. Terry's not.
You got it right.
Yeah, so of course Probst takes advantage of this emotional moment, you know. And go ahead, David.
I'll just say he talks to the parents. He wants
Yep.
the childless to know how tough it is, and I'm sure they kind of grasp how tough it is.
You know what? They can't.
True.
I'm sorry that they can't. Probst asked Wigglesworth, "Can you explain what this feels like to those who don't have kids?" And I sat there and I went, "No, you can't. You don't know what it's like until you have a kid." It's like I told my son so many times, "You will never understand how much I love you until you have a child. You think you know, but there's no way you know because you don't have a child." You know? So I can't imagine that. So anyway. So let's talk about how tight we are as tribes because it's time
What
to
do you think is coming?
That's right.
Well, before then, though, as they all came in, do not look to the right. Do not look at the 2 lanes set up to the right. Don't. And if you did, make sure you react to what I'm about to say.
You know, I was wondering about that. Did they have them come in at a different place, or did you see the big tracks next to the
No,
3
we saw
mats? Oh, well,
Abby admits in a secret scene that she saw the 2 tracks but was confused and didn't understand what was going to happen.
She did not. Did she
Go
really?
watch the secret scene. She said, "Drop your buffs," and she was confused. She wasn't sure what was going to happen. We saw the 2 tracks, but then it was like, "Oh, new tribes. Okay." So go. It's a secret scene. Go watch it.
Wow. I'll have to do that.
And yes, they did see the 2 tracks.
So I like it. Swapping the 2 tribes. You know, mix it up again. It's like Spencer said. Heck, it's hard to figure out who's with who. You know?
Yeah. I was trying to remember who was with who and which alliance and who started with who and
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the 3 tribe thing, but at the same time, we don't want another Philippines. We want to mix it up and make these people play the game.
That's right. That's right. And really, it sounds to me like the strongest bond is still the initial bond. At least it seems like it is. Really, the strongest bond is whatever bond wants to be the strongest. But they always point out, Kelly's like the only Takeo in the new Bayon with a bunch of original Bayons.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Cass, I'm happy with the rice, etc. A little apprehensive about Spencer.
Yeah, she throws him under the bus immediately.
Yeah, I kind of like it. Spencer's like, all right, this is how it's going to be. We're going to start like this, are we? Anyway, so it's the oil up, slide, and toss challenge. And I felt like they needed a longer runway and a shorter slide. You didn't really have enough time to get your speed up.
Right.
The only people that made it all the way were Wu and Joe. And that's because they spent an extra 10 minutes oiling up for Kelly Wentworth.
Yeah, it was in the lunge more so than the run, but yes, I understand what you're saying.
Yes. Anyway. They're playing for food, fried chicken, which I would be happy about, but I know me and I would eat too much and I'd be in the ocean within 10 minutes. Mac and cheese, which would be amazing, and those brownies, oh my.
Mm-hmm.
I like Cass's description. They're as big as your fist.
Oh, goodness gracious. They were amazing. They looked amazing. So,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and we can eat it anytime we want it.
Yeah. So, what'd y'all think about the challenge?
I still wanted Kelly Wentworth to win that one. Her against Kelly Wigglesworth. I really thought she had it, and I was disappointed that she didn't get it. And I know she was, you could tell. She just sat down.
Yeah, she's disappointed.
Yeah.
The wiggle beat the wind.
I would like to have seen more rounds because there was more rounds and a higher score, but several people didn't even go. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then Abby takes off going back, and she it hadn't even ended yet, and she had to take it off.
That was funny. That was funny. It seems like Jeremy especially is being he's like Stephen Fishback's coach or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anything else, David? I see you looking at stuff. You got to be thinking about something.
It's stuff I can share when we go off the air.
No,
it was okay. I mean, I don't know. I was just seeing a full Groupon challenge, but it was still everybody had to participate. So at least we think everybody had to participate. We didn't see it, but I still like full tribe challenges.
Yes. Jordan, David tends to pout when they don't get full challenges. he gets his little pout. And then Savage says a line that I thought for sure was, he's in trouble, because he says, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
That's usually not. So, Takeo, day 14, same day as the challenge. Brownies looked amazing. Spencer is concerned, and more Savage teeth. So, David, talk to us about that. Talk to us about Takeo, day 14.
Spencer's wondering how the tribe is going to work for him. It's bad enough he's got Cass to deal with, not knowing what he's going to get from her, but because he hasn't heard Savage say that we've only had nice and considerate Cass. He doesn't know what Cass has been up to. He hasn't seen her the entire game. So he's got her, his arch nemesis. I don't know which one wears a cape, but she's his arch nemesis. But how the tribe's going to work for him, he's got to start all over. And I love this. This is what we want to see in players. They look at their new tribe and how do I work it from here? And this was so great about going to two tribes is we got so much of the edit about strategy and people working together and alliances. And this is what I eat up. I'll tell you, this episode, I love Survivor, but this episode just reminded me tenfold why I so love Survivor. It's just this is just one of those great episodes where we got so much meat and less gravy. We just got so much talking about strategy. We got two build-ups for two eliminations when we knew we were only going to get one. Not just camp life, not just talking about wood and new camp. Oh, what was your tribe like? It was strategy to who to get rid of, and that's what I want to see when it comes to Survivor.
Right.
Yeah.
So I thought Cass handled Savage very well. She waited until he said Spencer, and then she agreed.
I wrote that Savage was on a Survivor high. And I think it led to his misstep of what he said. He got a new tribe, which he was totally happy with, which he said in a confessional, I think, right after he fly. He just won a challenge. Yeah. He went to a beach that was stocked. He's never been to Takeo before. It's fully stocked. Cass told us about that. He's eaten a reward meal, and he's got his 5. He's set. He is on such a Survivor high. I can't imagine being in a better place. When you go back to camp for a few days, he's on such a high, and he's like, hey, let's just start laying it out. And I just wonder if it was how old he is or where he sees himself, and he brought himself into the game and said, hey, here's the plan. Let's do this. Let's don't screw it up. It's kind of like what Wu did. When Wu took Takeo back, he said, hey, or when they had Savage and Tasha, and he had his 4, and he said, hey, it's just those 4. Let's don't screw this up. We'll take out Tasha or Savage. Well, that didn't work out, and neither did Savage's plan of let's don't screw it up. So. So just getting a little distracted. I don't know if he would have played it different, but you just can't. You can't dictate. You got to let the game fold. You got to let other people speak up. This is where I screwed up at Maine. Totally screwed up by saying too much and what I thought. But still, you got to let other people talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what Cass was doing, because Cass waited until he said, "What do you want to do? What do you want to do?" And then she didn't say it, and he finally said, "Spencer's got to go," and she said, "Okay."
Right. Yes.
That's an excellent strategy in Survivor. Let them say it first, and then you can agree. And
because we've heard more than once. Like Savage said, he said, "I know Cass doesn't like Spencer, so I'm going to use that on her or against her." And whether she said it or not, he did. He brought it up that Spencer should be to go, and she didn't have to make the claim. She said, I'm good with that."
That's right.
Right.
But then, like you said, he's too confident and it's going to end up biting him in the butt. Not as much as I think it should have. I think he should have went home, but he, he tells Sierra in front of everybody, this is the kind of conversation that I take Jordan aside and I go, Jordan, what do you think about this? Not in front of everybody, and just tell this is what you have to do, right, Jordan?
Right.
And Jordan would go, no.
You can't ever just say, oh, we're going to all say we're voting for you, but you're going to be safe. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Nobody wants to hear their name come up, whether it's just like the decoy or not. Nobody wants to hear their name come up.
No.
Ever.
And then based on what Sierra said during tribal council, apparently she and Savage used to be close, but now he's closer to Wu, which makes it even worse.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, why isn't Wu the
Yeah, exactly. Or why is it Wigglesworth the vote?
Why not Wigglesworth? Right.
To me, the first thing I thought about was Sierra's first thought wasn't this plan could work. It was, I must be on the bottom of your totem pole. You got your 5 and I'm number 5. So we can't have that. Why not? If you're going to sacrifice somebody and put up bait, put up Wu. He's not Bion. He's your closest ally. He will trust you because you've saved him several times.
Exactly.
Wu will go, I'll do it. And he'll be glad to put his name up there.
Right.
He just, to me, I don't know if he thought it through or not, but it was just the wrong person to put up there.
Right.
Like you said, he should have pulled her aside and had a heart-to-heart and say, what do you think we should do? Would you mind being the bait? Or what do you think we should use?
And I think...
Go ahead, Jordan.
If you're going to do it in, as a group conversation, don't pick anybody specific. Just say, okay, should we tell Spencer that it's going to be one of us? Should we give him a name? And then have the group decide together.
Yes.
Throw out a person.
Yeah. That's even better than what I was going to say. Savage should have... Okay, that's actually the best answer. But given Savage did not do that, Savage, look at the two, Sierra or Wu. Which one's going to go, okay,
right,
and not question you? Obviously, Wu, he's your lapdog. He's going to do whatever you say.
Right.
Well, he that's not being aware because he's too confident.
Right.
Which one is strategic enough and savvy enough to do something against you? Oh, like vote their own parent out of the
game. Exactly.
And he hasn't been with Sierra recently as he was with Wu, so he kind of has to build that relationship back up with Sierra. So by throwing her name out there, that's not a good way to build that relationship with her.
Yep.
Yeah, if you and later on, there's a lot of little tidbits in this episode that I wrote, not foreshadowing, but just little things that Probst says during challenges and stuff that I think is going to come up later.
Okay.
But one of them, when Cass and Sierra and Abby are talking later, Cass says that when Savage said your name, I said, where'd that come from? And right before that, we got Cass saying that she and Sierra were tight.
Right.
We've talked about this with all of our friends and super editors that watch everything. Everything that's said is said for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Cass and Sierra are super tight.
Yep.
And that's pretty good for people that didn't start together, right? Because Cass and Sierra started separate.
Right.
They got together. That second block of days, the second round of tribes, that's when Cass and Sierra, like you said, Sierra and Savage have not. Savage has gone through a whole different set of 6 or 7 days with Wu. Like Sierra noticed, he's super tight with Wu now.
Right.
So if you're gonna sacrifice somebody, put him as bait. Use your buddy. Don't, like you said, don't call her name out in public without talking to her first.
Right.
Yep. Tell Ian we hear him. All right.
I texted him.
Or is the wall winning?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Bye on day 14. I don't know why they put this in there, but apparently Keith is a little frustrated with Kimmy.
I mean, your kids all the time. Don't drop it. Don't drop it. Whatever you do, don't drop it.
I mean, we always say they don't put anything in there unless they have a reason for it, but that was related to absolutely nothing.
Very random.
Very random indeed.
That's like Jordan telling her students, write your name on the bottom, not the top, because this paper's different. Write it on the bottom. She gets 25 papers, all the names are on the top of the paper.
Oh, man.
But I love what he said. He says, you're done. You're done. Like, oh, she had a game now?
Yeah. I thought he said, you're dumb. I guess done is probably better. Yeah. Don't go dropping that thing in the fire. All right, Kelly and Joe are talking. Kelly's like, I'm in trouble. And Joe's like, yeah, you're the easy vote. We got to work to keep you here. And what's interesting is in a confessional, Joe's not just saying this to Kelly. He really does want to keep her there because she's part of his little group.
This is what was so good about the change to 3 tribes. The second phase where they went to 3 tribes is affecting both tribes.
Right.
You got Cass and Sierra hooking up, Savage and Wu hooking up, Joe and Kelly hooking up. This is great. This is why I love this season so far, because that second phase really affected this phase 3. And we're getting ready to go to phase 4 next week. But still, I love it. I love this.
Yeah, it's awesome. So Joe is talking with Tasha and Fishback, and I think, this is where Joe is, beauty boy, and I know his mom listens. He's so handsome. But he's not always the most strategical guy, right? Yeah. And I don't know how smart it was to question them the way he questioned them.
Well, especially because they hadn't even lost the immunity challenge yet. I feel like that's a conversation you save until you're going to tribal council, and just keep it to yourself for a while.
That's a great point, because you might not need it.
Right.
At the same time, hope that the challenge reveals that your plan is a good plan.
Right.
Get some backing to it, because you're right. I mean, I'm sorry, Joe, but you're dealing with Fishback. He's a know-it-all for a reason. He's just going to read your plan and say, oh, okay, why don't you walk away, because we're going to talk about how you want to save Kelly Wentworth.
Exactly. Right. And it was unneeded because they didn't lose.
Exactly.
And so now... Go ahead.
He didn't even need to bring it up at all until they lose, and it just put a target on him by him mentioning wanting to save Kelly.
Yeah.
And it's funny because his conversation to Steven and Tasha was like Monica's conversation to Kimmy. Changing the plan. He's going against Bayon. He's got his own plan, so which could make him a flipper. I'm like, this is the conclusion of last week's part 1. So it's really neat.
Well, now we know why we got so much of Fishback talking about how dangerous it is to go against your Bayon tribe, because now the kettle's calling the pot black. Because now he's like, Joe's talking about flipping on the Bayon alliance. We cannot have that. And I was like, this like 2 episodes ago.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I love that Fishback runs to Jeremy. So once again, Godfather Jeremy's in the hammock. Like Kimmy ran to Jeremy and Fishback, and now Fishback's running to Jeremy. I love it. You got 2 people working together with completely different plans. Fishback wants to get rid of the threat, the guy that could flip on all of us, and Jeremy wants to keep him because he's a meat shield.
Yep, that's right.
I love the conflict.
Yep. So it's just a hunch, but I think this means a lot to Fishback. Just a hunch.
Just a little bit.
But maybe just a little bit.
But as a fan, this makes total sense that we'd love to have one chance in the game, and he's actually been given us a chance, and he knows he's got a target on his back. Like Dwaine said at the very beginning, he is a know-it-all. He goes into the game with that title. He's very smart. They know that he ran Tocantins until JT wanted on his friendships. And then all of a sudden, he's got to worry about that. He's got that in the back of his mind the whole time. He's not sleeping. He's not eating. He's stressing. He's doing challenges the way he's doing challenges. And then he's like, guys, I've got the book right here, and it says to take out Joe Amazing. As soon as we get the chance, we should take out Joe. He just talked about flipping on us. And now you guys, nobody wants to listen to me. Nobody wants to see the problem that's standing right there.
Right.
And it all accumulates into that moment. And I felt for the guy. I mean, that was heartbreaking. I sympathize with him.
I feel for Ian right now because I see on Jordan's face the "I'm going to kill my husband" look as she is texting him.
Yeah, I know.
I wrote down the fact that Fishback loses control because he lost control and cries is just an example of how stressful and difficult this game is emotionally, physically, and mentally. You just get to that point and you just break down. You hope the camera's not on you when it happens, but it is.
But he did it only in front of the camera.
Well, I know.
I'm not saying he would do it otherwise, but yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
if the camera's on, even he said, "I can't believe I'm crying." It's getting
Right.
choked up. But that's just the emotional breakdown. Like you said, it's so stressful.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about day 15. This is where you get crickets because nothing happened on day 15. Or they didn't show it. All the cameramen took a break. And
That was on day 15. Wigglesworth did all of her confessionals.
yes. All right, immunity challenge, day 16. It's a food competition with local Cambodian delicacies. And I thought to myself, what if the Cambodians were playing Survivor in the United States? And we had a food challenge, and they had to eat United States delicacies. We'd start with pig, pepperoni pizza. Ooh. We're going to feed you chicken, wings with some ranch dressing. Or we're going to feed you some cow, T-bone steak. Why can't these other places have real good food? Why do they have to be
Gross.
gross?
I know.
I mean, who goes and picks up an egg with an embryo in it and just goes, who does that?
Seriously.
Apparently the Cambodians do. Of course, people in the United States eat, what are they? They like take the shell and they suck the, what is that, clams or whatever? Or
Yeah.
oysters? Ugh.
Raw oysters, yeah.
Yeah, that's gross.
Not me.
They
Ugh.
were doing it during Warrior Survival Challenge.
Yeah.
They're good.
They
Not
had some.
me, though.
They had oysters there. They were
See,
eating.
if I just made it to that stage of the game.
Yeah, David.
Eating? They're eating? What do you mean they're eating?
Yeah. All right, pairs first. I liked them doing pairs. You know,
I did too.
I liked it a lot. I was kind of hoping they do it the whole time, but
That's it. You can really use strategy there too, because if you got somebody like Kaz, who has the gag reflex, then you put her up there with somebody else who has a gag reflex, and you know you're probably not going to win that round.
Yeah.
But then you
Right.
get strong eaters. You put 2 strong eaters up to make sure you get it done quick and get it over with.
there
Yeah.
is no way in the world they were allowed to choose who went up.
Yeah, some of those people that went back up,
Mm-mm.
I was like, why? They couldn't have sent. I didn't know if like the other tribe maybe chose for them or something, because there's no way that you would send Cass back up
Mm-mm.
or.
No, especially against Tasha. Okay, because
Yeah.
you watched Tasha during the first time she went up there. She's like, no big deal. She ain't got no big.
Right.
He just eats the thing. Cass,
Right.
the first time she tried to eat, about upchucked everything. So there's no way in the world that this is how it ended up. A tiebreaker. And y'all are putting up Cass. And y'all are putting up Tasha. No. Not.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
setting this up for something else that they want to
Well,
show us.
what are the odds that 29 seasons later, Kimmy comes back up, and it's brains again?
Yeah.
Pick brains.
See,
wow,
that-
I can't imagine the coincidence that would bring that up.
No.
Right.
This was all orchestrated. They knew who they wanted to have to eat what.
Right.
Yep.
So here is where I just wrote down a few little comments about what happened and the little things that I saw. For the second challenge in a row, Savage and Jeremy were this close to each other.
That's
They
true.
both did the ring toss right at the same time. They both finished their first food right at the same time. And what do? Hand slap across the table.
That's right.
Wow. I mean, that's to me, that's them. As soon as the merge comes in, if they're both there, that's two alphas getting back together.
Yep.
And then I wrote down Wigglesworth over Joe. It's like, we don't hear her name very often, but wouldn't that be something if Wigglesworth somehow, this is amazing strategy she's playing with this season, but if she makes it further than Joe. These are just prosisms I wrote down that were coming out of this challenge I thought were kind of neat. And then Sierra, and one of my initial thoughts was this episode felt like the pre-boot episode for Monica. The episode before Monica got booted. It almost felt like it was for me for Sierra. I don't know if she's my pick next week to go home or not, but it almost felt like next week is her boot episode because of the episode she got this week. But she was an integral part of this episode because she was Savage's pick. But her comment was, just proud of myself for getting this far. Almost like this was as far as she was going to get in the game successfully. That her end would be next week. But I really like the Wigglesworth over Joe thing because Joe never loses. But
Right.
Wigglesworth of all people, of course, Wigglesworth she's great in challenges. You know, it's just the rest of the game she doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wigglesworth's strategy seems to be working so far.
Yeah.
She's, you know, when you're old school and you're playing with a bunch of new schoolers who are doing all the talking, they forget about you.
Well, she's so forgotten that she's only made one right vote, and she's been to almost every tribal council.
Oh yeah, she was blindsided.
Yeah, the only vote she made right was the Shireen vote because she voted with old school. I think every other council she's been to, she's not been told of the vote to make.
Well, she's one that you kind of like. She's not doing a lot of strategy talk with anybody, so you don't really have to worry about her like messing things up for anybody. So she's one that they can take out any time, which sometimes they get really far because there are more important people to take out. But
Yep,
exactly.
Yeah. The problem is she always finds herself in the smaller group. So now she's in the smaller group again.
Yeah.
But they merge, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep.
So, all right. So let's see. Wigglesworth won it for everybody, right? No. Yes. No. Tasha did. Tasha won it for everybody. And Jeremy goes back and ate it all. He actually went back and ate it all.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, they only showed him take one bite, but then he said Probst didn't, so he went and ate the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine eating that by choice.
Tasha ate it with the shell.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was a requirement or not.
Are you sure? I thought she just dumped it into her mouth.
No, Probst said
Jeff
shell and all.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, you get like cuts in the inside of your mouth when you do that, I would assume. I've never taken a duck embryo and put it in my mouth.
Me neither.
Well. So then, we always get a after challenge confessional. And because my team needs more points, Cass says, I would love to get rid of Spencer again. Spencer Bledsoe, 0% chance of winning this game. Something tells me she didn't like him saying that in Kagayan. All right, y'all want to go to Takeo day 16? It's the same day. Later on in the day. Woo, as of now, if everything goes according to plan, we're all going to vote for Spencer. Uh-oh.
If everything goes according to plan. I love Savage coming in and dictating everything, and it was Savage, not Dietz. It was, he said, everybody knows the plan, don't stress it. And then the worst line to me that he said was, don't get caught or don't be seen talking to Sierra.
And where's Sierra?
Exercise Sierra.
And where is Sierra?
Standing right
there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's part of the plan, but just...
I feel like that's just digging it in deeper to her, like, don't talk to Sierra, don't be seen with Sierra.
Yeah. It's like, great. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
All right. So, Woo, this is so funny. I'm sorry, Woo, I'm finally in tune with the game. Oh, no, another bad line.
When he said that, I turned to Ian and I said, I bet you he's on the wrong side of the vote tonight.
Yep. Yeah.
He's in tune with the game, but he's using the wrong radio. Yeah. So.
Now, I'm pretty. I would have liked to have seen more as to why Spencer trusted Cass. Because he's so trusted Savage, and he so doesn't want to play with Cass. What in the world happened to make him trust Cass?
I wonder if he went and talked to some of the other ones and just kind of like felt everybody like
like
Sierra and Abby, and just to kind of see what they said about it and see if he felt like they were lying or if he felt like they were being honest.
Yeah.
I wonder if he did that and didn't show that part of it.
I agree. I thought this was a great talking point for this episode because I talked about it at work today. And my thought was, Dwaine, if you and I were at odds, if we had a Cass and Spencer-like relationship, which we've never had, but if we were that way and Jordan was aligned with me before, not with you, would it make a difference if Jordan came up to you and said, hey, David wanted me to come talk to you about this idea he had? Or would it mean more if I, the person you didn't necessarily trust, came up to you and said, look, I know we've had problems in the past. I don't care about those. We got a plan that we want you to be a part of. I thought it would mean more if it came from Cass versus somebody speaking on Cass's behalf because Cass was all for supporting Sierra. They are tight, like she said earlier.
Right.
So I think it had more meaning to Cass for her to go to Spencer herself. I think it was more convincing that way.
That's true.
Probably so, but still, if I'm Spencer, I'm like, but you're Chaos Cass, and I haven't seen this nice, loving Cass that Savage has been talking about. So, you're just pushing me under the bus. So I think I'm with Jordan in that he probably had to have gone to Sierra and stuff, at least Sierra.
Well, I'm sure he confirmed it with people, yeah. But
And then after that, it probably meant more that Cass came up.
But I love that he said,
Yeah.
I know we didn't get along or something. She's like, I'm past that. No, I'm not worried about
Yeah,
that.
he goes, I really don't want to rehash. She's like,
That's not what I'm doing.
have a muffin.
She should have said, well, they want us to, pointing at the
Yeah.
cameras. But no, I'm not into it either.
All right, so let's see. What have we got? That's all I got for that. Oh, I do like Cass is going to her first tribal council, and she is the deciding vote. I like that.
Yep. For Cass and Sierra, they've been 16 days without going to tribal council. That's a long rest period.
Yep. All right, tribal council. You know what? I was watching Wu, and I was just thinking he's too trusting and nice of a guy to win Survivor. There's no way he could win.
Just like Kagayan.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you go, well, he could have won Kagayan. No, because of who he is. He's just too nice and trusting, and he can't win because of that. So that's what I think.
I guess that's a good trait to have.
Well, yeah, unless you want to win $1 million.
That's true.
Well, but see, I can be nice and still win Survivor. I think there's some naivete in there. Wow,
Yeah.
that was beautifully said. You know how like some people are too trusting.
Right.
You know, like the guy that called my phone today and say, you just got drawn to win $250,000. No, hanging up.
You mean you didn't believe them?
No, I did not. Yeah.
We
We are Microsoft technical assistants, and we need to have access to your computer so we can fix it. No.
No, thank you.
No.
I wrote down that they didn't get all of Wu's comment when he said he understands now from Kagayan that you have to be cutthroat, and he's okay with that as long as somebody else does it because he's not really cutthroat.
Yeah. Right.
In our chat room, J to the K said Cass's biggest mistake of her 2 seasons is keeping Spencer, and I completely agree. I mean, I know this was a protect Sierra, work with Sierra moment, and I still want to know why not Wigglesworth, why Wu, that you got to turn on Savage that way. Why not just redirect it at Wigglesworth? But I understand why Savage wants Spencer gone. But I wonder if that was part of Abby's deal. Even though we didn't hear from Abby, if you got to pick somebody else to go after, why not go after? If Abby said, why not Wu? As in she's been waiting to get rid of him. But at the same time, Spencer needs people. He needs alliances, whereas Wu is basically a pawn now. And if they'd gone after Savage, like some people are saying online, that leaves Wu wide open for anybody. And he's certainly not going to go with them because they just voted out his mentor.
Yeah, he would. What's going to stop him from going with them?
The next people he meets. If they get to the merge, if they go somewhere else.
It's like Cass said in Kagayan. Wu's going with the last person who talked to him.
Right.
No, I don't think. I think Wu was a mistake.
He might have gone back with Tasha though. Like once they got to the merge, gone back to Tasha instead. Like he was with Savage and Tasha.
I think they should have sucked it up and got rid of Spencer. Myself.
Okay, so you think that this is Cass's downfall, that Spencer's going to turn around and get Cass. Is that what you think? Because you said that it was the biggest mistake of her game.
I agree with online that I think Spencer's going to go farther than Cass. I think Spencer's going to be part of Cass's downfall. Yes. So I agree with Savage. Okay. Spencer is too smart to keep in the game. Plus, he's got ties to Jeremy. He could go right back to that group if they go to merge next week.
All right, we'll see.
Now, the one thing I wrote down in this trial, I wrote down a few comments, but don't tell me, Probst, that you don't watch dailies. When your question to Savage is, does he get uncomfortable when his name gets brought up in any situation, even here at Tribal Council? That's exactly what Savage did to Sierra back at camp. And he asked Savage point blank, does it make you nervous when somebody says your name under any circumstance?
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to say, just like you called out Sierra, but he didn't say that. And of course, Savage says, no, I'm confident. I don't have my doubts. I don't have doubts.
Yeah.
So it's like, there you go.
All right, so then you've got, best quote of Tribal Council right here. Best quote of Tribal Council.
And Sierra, when you hear what Savage said, I feel pretty confident. That's the fun part of Survivor, is that if everybody's playing at the highest level, everybody here feels confident. And yet, somebody will go home.
That's the scariest part of Tribal Council. I mean, we're all second-time players, and we all have plans. And somebody's plan is not going to work out.
Spencer, that's really it. Somebody's plan is not going to work out.
Yeah, everyone has some degree of confidence, and not everyone can keep that confidence once you get out the snuffer.
All right, it is time to vote. Wigglesworth, you're up.
I love it. Everybody comes here with plans. Somebody's plan is not going to work out.
Right.
I loved it. Loved it. Way to go, Sierra.
Yep.
All right, so they vote. Anything else on Tribal Council before we just spoil everybody with who went home?
No, I'll say that no offense to Wu, but we're not losing a great strategist who's going to turn the game on its head. But to me, the heart of the episode was the 95% of it before Wu got voted out. I mean, his voted out was going to happen sooner or later, but the rest of the episode was amazing. I thought it was just a great episode. I'm sorry, I just...
No, it's fine. I just feel like they voted out the wrong person.
I agree.
Why not cut off the head of the snake, which is Savage? Why cut off his tail, the one that's following him everywhere?
Right.
Why not cut off Savage, and then you take control?
We never even heard that.
Blow up everything underneath it when you take out him. I just don't understand why Savage wasn't the option. So,
maybe, I don't know, maybe she felt like Cass would be more willing to go for Wu than Savage because Cass does have that relationship with Savage. So,
if I thought Cass would tell me, I'd just ask her straight up. But
that was the rest of my point that I was making that I didn't finish, was that I think if Savage's name ever came up, Abby may have saved him, saying no, vote out Wu and keep Savage, and then you keep Abby.
And then to make Abby happy, you vote out Wu.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I could think of, which we never heard. But I mean, because I agree. Why not take out Savage at this point?
Right.
Who are you going to upset? But is Savage super locked in with other people in the biome tribe?
Yeah. All right. So Cass decides to go with Sierra and votes off Wu. Wu goes home. And Savage, Wigglesworth, and Wu were all blindsided. So, which is funny because Savage had said earlier, it's going to be the blind side of all blind sides. Exactly. It's like, dude, have you not been watching the show lately? Because there's been some pretty epic ones.
Well, he wasn't there last week for Monica, so he missed that one.
Well, but I mean, even some, I mean, the whole pulling out 3 idols and all that kind of stuff. All right, so next week they are, according to the preview, going to do something very special that makes Andy Baker and Steve Helling come back on the show. So we'll be watching that. That'll be fun. Will Chaos Cast come out? Don't know. And we got to see Danny Dietz actually got his heart transplant, and he's doing all right. So way to go, Danny Dietz. Notice his name is not Danny Savage. All right, let's get to our listeners' thoughts. First, we have Tina.
She wanted me to tell you that she was very happy for you that you are no longer drinking the Red Bulls.
Oh.
That you cut, or actually, she said cut back. He's actually stopped. You don't drink those anymore, do you?
No, I'm drinking V8 Energy.
Yeah,
which is with green tea, and it has green tea and stuff in it.
It's funny. The only flavor I saw was the one you showed me, so I tried one yesterday.
Yeah, I have a orange mango in the fridge, but it's too late for me to have one now. I'm trying to find my quote for this. Oh, there it is. All right. So we have Tina from Parts Unknown. If I told you where she was at right now, we'd have to kill you. And we can't. It says, hello, Dwaine and David, and Jordan.
Hey.
It doesn't say that, but I'm going to have to add those. It's been a while. It's been a while since I corresponded with you, but rest assured I have been watching and following your podcast. Like most everyone else, I enjoyed the episode and loved the warm ending with Terry and his son. I will not be missing Wu much as a player, although he does seem like a great person. Wigglesworth seems to be an interesting character to watch. Some are saying that the producers are not liking her. because she is not saying much in confessionals. I think otherwise. Last season's winner, Mike, was constantly shown in confessions and had a strong visible edit from day one. Survivor producers may want to switch it up and keep us guessing, so a quieter player could end up winning. Wigglesworth does not seem to be antagonizing anyone or making leadership decisions, which may enable her to squeeze by until the end, but probably not a winner. Moving on, I thought it was really funny when they showed the new teams. Did you want to say something, David?
No, I was just going to say I think part of the sell of a good season is a deserving winner. And at this point, I'm still not even sure Wigglesworth is playing. So I think for her to be even considered as a possible winner, it would sell short the season.
You know, not even a deserving winner because, I mean, I would argue Kim Spradlin was certainly a deserving winner, but an exciting confessional-giving winner. You know?
Yeah, exactly. A very smart confessional. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so.
But this season is too strong after 6 weeks for it to end with somebody that didn't show up until the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on. I thought it was really funny when they showed us the new teams. I saw Abby standing there with 3 new women to harass and torment. I think RC is doing a good thing by turning down Survivor while Abby is still playing. It would be too tempting for the producers to manipulate Abby into a showdown with RC. Instead, they have fresh lambs for Abby. I agree with Tina, as we saw with Tasha and Cass at the food challenge. You know?
Big brains. Yep.
Yeah. Talking about producers, Dwaine, an episode or 2 ago, you pointed out that Terry was going to be out of the game due to his son's health concern. All right, before I go any further, that is not what I said, but I will clarify that in a minute. Your saying that caused me to take a closer look on the internet, and I did read up that Danny had a heart transplant and was doing well. But last episode, for episode 5, you made a big point at the end of the show in pointing out you had no idea what was coming. I suspect you were contacted by CBS and asked not to be a spoiler. The watchful person in me is thinking they must have offered you something in return for not being a spoiler. I would love to hear your comment on this. All the best this Halloween from your traveling friend Tina. First of all, CBS has never offered me anything.
That you didn't tell me about. Did they offer you something you didn't tell me?
They never offer me anything.
Yeah, except
number 2.
Can y'all stop podcasting if we give you buffs?
Yeah. Number 2, I seriously don't think they even know we exist. Other than I'm part of CBS what is it, David?
CBS.
It's that. No, it's the site where I can go download pictures and stuff.
The Access Place?
Yeah, the CBS. Anyway, I'm part of that because we're a show about it. But no, and so
CBS
I went
Express.
back. Yeah, no, not even CBS Express. It's something else.
I'll shut up.
So Jordan, when you heard that episode, right? When I said I'm starting to wonder about Dietz, did you hear that episode?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't necessarily remember you saying that, but yeah, I've listened to all the episodes.
All right, so what I did was I went back and found what she's talking about because I didn't think that I said I knew he did because I didn't know he did, right? I suspected it because I remember during the summer seeing a lot of stuff on social media about his son's transplant going well and all this kind of stuff. And I saw a couple references, and I don't have a great memory, and so I didn't remember, and so I was... Anyway, here's the clip. We're going to go back in time. And I said, Savage or Dietz, I can never tell them apart. And they replied, oh, the old Savage Dietz comparison. So,
well, I think he makes comments later on that are not good in his favor.
You know, I'm wondering about Dietz. And I don't know anything about this, which is why I'm able to speculate. But, I mean, didn't he get news? Well, if you know something, don't say anything, but his son had some issues. Was it while he was on the island, do you think?
I believe so, yeah.
He might, leave?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know, but I keep having this fear of any episode now he's going to get news and he's going to leave the island. I don't know. I'm just speculating. That would throw a wrench in the new Takeo tribe.
Yeah.
So, all right, day 7, the swap. So you could tell we were back in time because of the sound effects.
I love the music.
Yes. And I put a little reverb in it. So, but anyway, so no, I did not say I knew he was going home. But I remember. Go ahead, Jordan.
I had seen a lot of stuff this summer as well about it, and so, and unfortunately, I remember things like that, like things that I don't want to remember. And so, when I saw the preview that Jeff was coming to the island the island and waking them up, I was afraid that that's what it was. But
my memory is so bad, and I am not lying here. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Let's hope I don't die right now. But
yes, let's hope.
I actually had somebody tell me first and second boot, and I didn't remember it.
Really?
Yeah. Which is odd, which, as you know, because my diving predictions were wrong, I didn't remember it. I did not. I didn't even remember. In fact, after it was over, he goes, "I told you." And I went, "You did? When?" I'm just like, I'm telling you, this is why I lose at Mikko's challenge.
That's exactly right. Also, I just want to say, with that clip, I love how you said that you can't tell Deese and Savage apart, and then this whole time, you've been confusing them.
Thank you, Jordan. You're awesome. All right. Thank you, Tina from Parts Unknown. Next, we have Brian. Don't know where he's from, but here's Brian.
Brian won't mind if I interrupt for a second. Mike K shared a tweet from Sierra today. She said she wanted to clarify, I knew I could pull Abby in for a vote if it was Woo going, but I wasn't sure she would turn on Savage.
Ah, there you go.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
So, Brian's. Hey guys, hey guys and gal. First up, I noticed the lightning strike in the background during Cass's confessional almost exactly when she says Spencer has zero chance of winning. Do you think it was edited in? It was just too perfect timing. I don't think it was edited in, but I noticed it when she did that confessional too.
I bet it was edited in.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. That's pretty good. Now that they're controlling the weather. Wow. First
no. Okay. I didn't say they created electricity and made a lightning strike hit for the camera. I'm saying you can do a whole lot of special effects, and a lightning strike is one of them.
Instead of the Truman Show, it's the Probe Show. I got it. Okay.
Yes.
I also spotted a small but risky decision in the episode. Right after Sierra, Cass, and Abby decide to switch and vote out Woo, they have to then tell Spencer. It's like their thought process was, let's see, who should we send to tell him the plan? How about the person he trusts the least on the entire island? Go ahead, Cass.
That's what I said.
Yeah. That could have blown up in their faces. I could see Spencer not buying it. Oh, they're gunning for me now, and you want me to vote for Woo. Yeah, whatever, Cass. I mean, the Spencer-Cass walk on the beach scene was a great TV moment, but there had to be something we didn't see that got Spencer on board, probably a separate chat with Sierra.
Wow. See? Jordan?
Yeah.
There you go.
So we're heading into the merge, and I think everything is a beautiful, jumbled mess. Where are the what did Spencer say? Cluster expletive or something?
Yeah.
It's a big cluster expletive.
So where are the alliances really? If everyone is in multiple alliances, how will Abby know which one to ruin? It's hard to tell who is going next. Where do you guys think the alliances line up right now? I think the pair that's been solid the longest looks like Tasha and Savage. Beyond that, everything seems shaky. What do you think? Well, I definitely agree that Savage and Tasha, when they get back together at the merge, are going to be tight because they started together and then they suffered together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I think Jeremy and Fishback are going to hit a rocky patch. Especially if Fishback decides to pull away and go after Joe or something like that. Fishback might go for old Takeo, and try to get rid of him. But that's the one I question because we keep seeing situations where they're not necessarily in agreement.
Yeah.
Fishback questioned last week them going after Monica instead of Spencer.
Right.
And this week he wants to get rid of Joe and Jeremy doesn't.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Just to prove that we're just two best friends talking about the show and not professional Survivor commentators, I don't even remember, how many Takeo and how many Bion will there be at the merge? Original Takeo, original Bion. See? So all of the existing Bion tribe, except for Kelly, so she's original Takeo. What about the other side? What have we got over there, David?
I'm writing down Wiggs, Spencer, Kelly, Abby, and it seems like everybody else. Dietz is gone, Varner's gone, Wu's gone, PG is gone, Shireen's gone, and Vitas is gone. That's 6 gone, 4 left. Only 4 Takeo are left, and
9 Bion?
No, they got rid of Monica, and who just went? Yeah, 9 Bion.
Wow! If they do that, then Takeo's in some trouble.
Yeah.
However, Sierra just went against Savage.
Right.
So, yeah. So Sierra and Cass, and now have Abby. There's no more Takeo because Kelly's with Joe, Spencer is with whoever's going to protect him, and
Right.
Wiggs is down there playing with the fire. So there is no
Right.
Takeo. They are all free agents waiting to be picked up. So this, yeah, it's going to be a Bion East themselves. Turn on themselves. Who's going to turn on themselves next? Tanya is going to be good. This is going to be a good merge.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Next. Oh wait. Thank you for the feedback. Next we have Wendy Zell from South Dakota. Wendy Zell was the absolute first person to ever donate money to our show. I remember the day because I never thought it would happen, and I was outside and I got a thing from PayPal that said, "You just got a donation." I went, "What? Oh my gosh, David, look!" I'll never forget it. Anyway, Wendy Zell's been with us for a long time, and it is, I should have been doing this while I was doing all that, getting my video set up for this. But anyway, it's time for some audio feedback, so here we go, Wendy Zell. If I can find it.
Hi, Dwayne and David. This is Wendy from South Dakota. I was sorry to see that Terry had to leave, but I would have done the same thing in his circumstance. Family always comes before money, even if it's $1 million. And if your kids are sick, you go and you be there. So, I can totally understand his choice. During the reward challenge, I had to laugh when Joe got up to do his turn and Tasha was saying, "Oil up, Joe," and then they cut to her and just the look on her face. It was pretty funny. Made me chuckle. I am wondering if Steven didn't make the Monica mistake with the conversation that he had with Jeremy about getting rid of Joe. Like I said last week, one little conversation, one sentence can be the thing that turns someone against you. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to get anywhere with what he's trying to do there. I was surprised, too, at how emotional he got about it. But I wish I would have seen the return of Chaos Cass. I would have much rather seen Spencer go home than Wu. I greatly prefer Wu to Spencer. But far be it from me to second-guess her. She has to know what's best for her game. And I just hope she made the right choice and it doesn't come back to bite her. So, and it looks like if the original tribes that they were split into kind of fall back together again, not Takeo, the other one. Can't remember the name of it. The purple-pink tribe has greatly outnumbered the other tribe, the Takeo tribe. So they definitely have the numbers advantage. Takeo lost so many people, and then when they split off into the splinter groups, in Angkor, they did so much damage to themselves there. So it leaves that side weak when they split back up. Or when they merge, I should say, when they merge. So It'll be interesting to see. I'm not really sure who Cass was directing her comments to on next time on, but it's always curious to see when the merge happens, who stays true, who's flipped over, who's trying to better their spot. So next week will be an exciting episode, and I don't know, I don't really feel like you can tell by next week, okay, these people fall in this camp and these people fall in this camp. This season it seems to be that can change minute by minute, so I'll be curious to see. But it's still an exciting season. I'm certainly enjoying it. So y'all take care. Bye. Oh, I forgot to say something. Last week, after my feedback, Dwaine had said something about me not sending much feedback in last season. And it's true. I didn't send much in. I was very busy. But there was also an element of I'm maybe a little bit superstitious. I hate to admit that, but not necessarily superstitious. Just I had a lot invested in Mike winning. I just really wanted to see him win, and it was almost like if I would call in, I just didn't want to jinx it or screw it up or whatever. You know, I've had two favorite players over, you know, the 30-year span. Colby was my first favorite player. JT was my second favorite player. And Mike is one of my all-time favorite three players. I like who he is as a person. I like that he is a man of faith, but doesn't pretend to be perfect. He's just such a real person. And I was just really, really happy to see him win. And hopefully he's doing really well. And anyway, if you happen to be listening, hi, Mike. Anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Well, our numbers are dropping because our video feed is frozen. So.
What did Ian do?
Yeah. It's obviously Ian's fault. By the way, David, someone apparently, whenever I do an event through YouTube, it puts up a chat room next to it. I didn't even know that. And it said, Proud Nurse wrote, David has lost weight. Looking good. Is he preparing to play Survivor?
Shh. Tell Terry to get off the internet. What is she doing on there?
Yeah.
So while Wendy was talking with her great feedback that we did miss and we love that's back, I started writing down names of this merge. So I wrote down the alpha male tribe that started out originally: Jeremy, Savage, now Steven, Kimmy, Keith, Joe, Tasha. I put Sierra to the side because she just turned on Savage, and you know Savage is going to report that at the merge. To the side, I put Sierra, Cass, Wentworth, who was actually aligned with Sierra and Cass in Phase 2, and now Abby. So then I drew a line from Keith and Joe, who were aligned with Kelly, Sierra, and Cass in Phase 2 in that Final 5 package, and they've now picked up Abby. So Spencer was just saved by Cass and her crew. Wigglesworth is still Wigglesworth. So if Keith and Joe go back to Sierra, Cass, Kelly, and now Abby, and Spencer and Wigglesworth work with them, that leaves Tasha, Kimmy, Steven, Savage, and Jeremy outnumbered. I mean, that could flip if these Phase 2 alliances stick. Like
right.
Wendy was talking about who's going to go with who. This merge is going to be to tell the truth. You know, who trusts who now and who wants to go where. That's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see how that's gonna play out. The buy, we talk about it being a Bion dominant. It could be a Bion split in favor of Takeo, you know, and Spencer and Wigglesworth. Depending, right. They could be the deciding factors. They could be the swing votes. So that would be interesting.
Yep. All right, let's go on. We've got Will, the Giant Ninja, lives in Chicago. All right. What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. So no time wasted in getting to the removal. 2 minutes in, and we learn that Terry's son is in the hospital. I'm glad that he decided to go home to be with him. I'm glad that his son is doing well. I'm glad that Terry is happy with his decision. And I'm happy that another non-strategist is gone from the game. Just kidding. Kind of. Before the season started, I predicted multiple change-ups. I predicted that we'd see a merge from 2 to 3 tribes and a traditional merge back to 2 tribes. And it came at exactly the right time. 14 left, 2 tribes of 7. But I also predicted an early merge followed by an unmerge, something that Survivor has never tried before. And given the next time on segment, we're looking at a merge at 13. That's pretty early, even for an all-star season. ... Says, wow, that would be crazy. A merge and then an unmerge? Wow. All right. With the swap to 2 tribes, new dynamics have formed. But with the merge coming, those new dynamics may be largely irrelevant. So here are a few questions that I'd like D&D to consider and ponder upon. I'll provide my answers as well. Is the Jeremy Fishback thing real? Are they really each other's Survivor BFFs? David?
No. I think it's a Survivor relationship. I think Fishback would turn in a second if he thought he could. I think right now he feels Jeremy is leading the pack, so he's smartly getting behind Jeremy.
Yep, I agree. Jordan?
Yeah, I agree too. I
Yep,
think
sorry,
that
David.
I think that if he needed to, he would go with somebody else. But
Yep. I say no. I think both of them want the other one to think that they're uber loyal, but either one would drop the other without a second thought. What Jeremy wants Steven to be loyal to Jeremy, but Steven won't take Jeremy to the end. Jeremy might be loyal to Steven, but not out of loyalty. He'll be loyal to him out of self-preservation. Jeremy knows he can beat Steven, so he has no need to go after him. It's a nice story, but I don't buy it. They're both too self-interested. Thankfully, I think each of them has legs in this game. Number 2, is the Cass-Spencer rivalry real? Is Cass gunning for Spencer? Yes, the rivalry is real. Y'all agree?
yeah.
Yeah. David?
Very much so.
Very much. I love me some Cass. I say no. I think it's all theater. You're wrong. I asked Cass today. I didn't, she goes, it's complicated. So maybe you're not wrong. Maybe it is all just for show. Cass had every opportunity to eliminate Spencer, and she chose not to. She voted Wu out. Sure, they annoy each other, but like Jeremy and Steven above, they're both too self-interested to really care about the other one. If Cass votes Spencer out, it'll be because it's best for Cass's game, not because of spite. Likewise, Spencer won't mind working with Cass because Spencer doesn't have anyone else to work with. Number 3, will there be an unmerge? If so, when? Well, I've never thought of that. I don't think there will be, but there could be.
That's got to be tough to put like a 4th or 5th tribe shuffle on them. After all, I mean, they want alliances to work at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. As it is already, they're going over their budget on buffs.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. I say yes. The only way merging 13 makes sense for this season is if they unmerge at 12 to 2 tribes of 6, and then merge again at 11 or even 10. Folks can... Huh?
Now, he doesn't get credit for that prediction if they go to a reward challenge and they split up in 2 teams of 6 and go back for the immunity challenge.
Folks can still be on the jury even if they were voted out before the remerge. Number 4, when will we see a hidden immunity idol played? Whenever Kelly or Jeremy are in trouble.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yep.
I don't think that either Jeremy or Kelly will ever tell anyone else that they have an idol. So unless and until one of them feels in danger, we won't see an idol played. But there will be a merge idol, and there's a very good chance that someone will see the merge idol get found, because at least 2 people will be watching for it. So I think the merge idol is the first to be played by a desperate player on the outs looking to grab 3 more days in the game. Number 5, who will be the target of the merged tribe at 13? What do you think? Joe? Jordan?
I think that's probably one that a lot of people are going to go for, but if he wins immunity, I don't know, there's a lot of different ways that it could go. There's just so many different alliances that it's hard to tell who's going to be with who at the merge.
Yeah. But the thing is, once you go to merge, strong players, unless they're in a really good alliance, are targets. And I don't see Joe as in a really good alliance.
No, in fact, he's split from his original alliance. If he hadn't had that, if he listened to Jordan and waited till the challenge and not had that conversation with Fishback, he'd be sitting pretty.
Yeah. But now he's not.
Plus, the first challenge is going to be an endurance challenge, and Tasha's going to win. So.
I definitely think the first immunity challenge that Joe loses, he's going to have a huge target.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely.
I don't need either of you to reveal your driving, non-driving predictions. Just give us a taste of where you see the lines being drawn. Well, we've already answered your question. You should have said that in the question.
I'm still writing down those lines. That's got me intrigued right now. Wendy's feedback got me writing.
Who's with who, and who will be the targets? I think Jeremy, Fishback, Kimmy Spencer, and Kelly Wigglesworth form one side, and Joe, Keith, Savage, Tasha, and Kelly Wentworth form the other side, with Abby Maria, Sierra, and Mike Cassie in the middle. Two of that threesome will decide which way the winds blow. I'll put my cards on the table and say we're about to see a payoff of the early storyline of Savage not having a good feeling about Fish. I think Sierra and Cass work with Jeremy and Fishback to vote out Savage. Well, that's it for this week. Later, peeps. Will the Giant Ninja. All right.
He thinks they work with Jeremy's not going to vote out Savage. Jeremy's going to take Savage and Joe as far as possible to keep them in front of him.
They got to protect each other because they got to have each other. That's right.
So we do have a feedback in the chat rooms. Ian as Michael 2. Does that sound familiar?
Is that your husband? Is he in the chat room?
I doubt it. He's probably sleeping.
Okay. He said it made no sense for Cass. I'm trying to think like Tony. Why would you want to keep Spencer around? Spencer's good at puzzles. He's aligned with other people in the other tribe. They were trying to save Spencer, guys. He's making the case that they're saving Spencer. That's why they merged so early. And actually he said, yep. So I think he's answered my question that your husband's in the chat room.
It is. Yes, because Ian believes that. Ian believes that they want to save Spencer this entire season.
He thinks every twist and turn has been to save Spencer.
Oh, he thinks CBS production is doing it.
That's why they
He
merged
thinks
so
that's why
early.
they're merging. Yes.
He said Spencer is a clear next boot, so merge time.
And he thinks that the reason they did that second swap, they swapped again, he thinks that was to save Spencer, and then again just for the merge.
Because if Bion had lost next, Spencer's name would come back up again. Yep.
Wow. Ian the tinfoil hat man.
Conspiracy theorists.
I keep telling him no. I think they had it planned, but he believes it's to save Spencer.
Yeah.
Now he's saying I should be on instead. No, he didn't say that.
All right, next we have Andy, and David's going to read Andy.
Our commissioner.
I think that's Andy Westover, so there we go.
Hey, D&D and Jake. Another great episode from what has been a fun season. Here are a couple of my thoughts and questions for discussion. I cringed last night when Savage made the classic error of announcing to his tribe that they would fake vote for Sierra at Tribal. History suggests that that's not a smart move, and obviously it came back to bite him in the backside during the episode. The question is, what is the better way to handle it? Well, you listened to Jordan in the first half hour of our podcast. You would have heard the best way to handle it. He writes, throw himself under the bus as the fake vote? Never. Ask for a volunteer? No, I still like the other way better. Well, yeah, I guess that is what she said when you open up to the group. Or do you gather the smaller core of your alliance and decide upon one of the outsiders? I see pros and cons to each, but what are your thoughts? So we said have a group discussion? I would first bring up the plan. Bring up the plan and see if anybody's okay with it. If I have a problem with that. And if nobody volunteers, then Savage should go to Woo. I think and just say, Woo, why don't you do it for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan's idea was the best idea.
Absolutely. So
I mean, it was. I mean, Jordan.
And I think, like, bringing up yourself, well, first of all, you never want your name to come up about the vote ever. But, I mean, I think it's better than just picking someone else, like just picking Sierra. But I don't think that you ever want to, like, offer yourself either.
Right.
I mean, that's as bad as giving an idol away at Tribal Council. I mean, come on. Why would you ever do that?
Right. You don't want your name and voted out to ever be in the same sentence.
First, you don't want to go, but secondly, you definitely don't want to offer your name to be voted out.
Yes.
Now, David, I disagree with you. There are reasons to give your idol to people. I mean, people do it all the time, and it works out for them.
Ask Brandon and Eric.
Okay, so a couple people that didn't work out for, but we've seen it over and over and over again where it works really well.
If you play your idol for someone else, but not give your idol away to someone else.
Yeah, like when you won immunity, like the immunity necklace.
Okay.
I feel like that doesn't usually work out very well, but giving a hidden immunity idol away has worked a lot in the past.
All right, let's move on, David.
I'm not giving my idol.
It's getting late, and I gotta go to bed.
With multiple tribe swap changes and the upcoming merge, what do you see the majority alliance looking like? We have 7 women and 6 men, 4 original Takeo and 9 original Bayon. I don't see any of these natural divisions playing out. Any thoughts? I don't see a gender swap or gender thing coming out.
Yeah, we've already talked about what he's just asked. So
yeah, I have a hard time imagining anything other than constantly shifting alliances for at least the next several votes, probably largely depending on camp life and individual challenge threats.
I agree with him. I don't think it's going to go down Bayon lines, and I don't think it's going to go on gender lines.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the reemergence of Chaos Cass? From a TV standpoint, I am pleased since I too love me some Cass.
Uh-oh.
Struggling to see how this move really benefited her. It may gain her favor with Sierra and that lot while alienating her with the Savage crew. It also revealed the likelihood of more chaotic actions, thus virtually undoing some of her good social work thus far in the game. I think she may have been better served holding off a little while for a move that may have been more meaningful for her immediate game. If nothing else, it does ensure more twists and turns to come, since Wu is a much more consistent and, dare I say, boringly loyal and non-self-serving player than Spencer. I'm looking forward to what I can only expect to be an exciting and unpredictable merge game moving forward. Andy Westover, Cameron, Missouri.
Yeah, I agree.
I think, well, I don't think it was that bad to go against Savage at this point because she's got a final 5. She's now got a final 6 with Abby, and she could have very well made a deal that they didn't want us to know about with Spencer and Wigglesworth. That gives her a final 8 going into a merge of 13. So they definitely wouldn't have showed us her saying, Spencer, we want you with us.
Right.
You know, we want you in our final group. So they wouldn't have showed us that. So that could be your 8 right there against 5.
You know, and I didn't really see. I mean, Chaos. She wasn't being Chaos Cast tonight. She threw a wrench in someone's plans, but you know, I don't think she was being Chaos Cast tonight. I'm not even sure she's going to be a Chaos Cast next week. I think they're just trying to build it up. You know, Chaos Cast was a completely different player, and this cast has already had several experiences during this season that has changed her game. You know, so they're going to take anything she does that's the least bit controversial and call it Chaos Cast, you know. But from what I see next week, she's just going, look, y'all, these are the lines, and we got to decide what, you know. But,
right.
So that's
going to be interesting to see.
When she's doing her confessional, she's saying, look, it's I can go with Savage and go Spencer, or I can go with the girls and go Wu. There's nothing much to it. Can you call one of those choices chaos?
Yes, exactly.
Just so we can get a Chaos Cast moment.
Exactly.
It's 6 episodes in. Kelly has not speaking to us, so we need something from you to give us chaos.
We need to do take 2 on that, and we need you to use the phrase Chaos Cast and caring cast or something.
Compassionate cast. Yeah.
Come up with another K sound. It could be a C or a K. We don't care. But C would look better on the screen.
We don't care if you mean Spencer or Wu. We don't care. Just pick one.
All right. We have a feedback from Miko. Oh, wait. Andy, thank you. We have a feedback from Miko. I don't really have a lot to say about this episode, followed by 4 paragraphs. It's like staff meeting. Every time we go staff meeting, I don't have a whole lot to say today, and then we're in there for 3 hours. Right. It was perfect Survivor, but at the same time, it didn't really stand out in any way for me. Sorry. I don't know if that makes sense, but what I mean is it wasn't a standout like the Drew Christie boot episode for the Heroes vs. Villains premiere, where you just instantly know it's going to be the top 10 episode of all time, but the storylines it seemed to set up were great.
Wait. Is he saying any episode from San Juan del Sur was a top 10 episode of all time?
No, he said the Heroes vs. Villains premiere and the Drew Christie boot.
Oh. Okay. Anything with Drew Christie was not to me.
Although, come to think of it, maybe that was the problem. The greatness of this episode, for me, depends on how the rest of the season is going to play out. So he wants me to play a little game with you, David. He's given me 2 options, and you're going to try to guess which one is his. All right? Try to guess which one would be his preferred outcome. Is Steven's storyline set up to blow up in his face or to get rid of all the alpha males?
What Mika would say or what I think is it?
Well, what do you think first, and then what do you think Mika?
I think Mika thinks along the same lines of me, so I would think to get rid of all the alpha males.
You're absolutely correct.
Do I get a point in that for the game?
Oh, I understand what he's doing now. It's just David gets more positive. Do all these positive comments about Spencer mean that he's going to win, or that he's on a journey but falls short of winning? Again, exactly. Go ahead, David.
He's on a journey but falls short of winning.
Yes. Is Cass going home as soon as she turns into Chaos Cass, or will she be able to change up the game before she does?
I hope the second one.
Yeah, I do too. And that's what he thinks too. Is Sierra's story going to pick up? She spoke again about leaving it all out on the island and making her family proud. Or was this move enough to bring closure to her and she'll fade back into the background?
I think it's going to pick up for the next few episodes. I don't think she's long for the game, but I do think she's going to be involved because of Savage in the next few episodes.
Yeah, that's what he thinks too. I kind of think she's going to fade into the background. What do you think, Jordan?
I'm hoping she'll pick up a little bit and do a little bit more now.
All right.
Now when I say pick up, I mean be booted pretty soon. Because if she fades in the background, then she's going to stick around for a while.
Okay. All right. Is Savage going home soon, or is he being shown as arrogant and overconfident? Oh, I'm sorry. Is Savage going home soon as he is being shown as arrogant and overconfident, or is his alliance with Jeremy and Alpha Males going to pick up again?
Well, with the names I just wrote down, I think he's soon to be gone. He's not long. He's like in the next 3 or 4 episodes. I think he could be a target. He doesn't win immunity.
Boy, you and Miko think a lot alike. You've agreed with every single thing he has said so far, which could explain some things.
I know you still think I am Miko, but I am not Miko.
Is Jeremy going to win or take the idol home, as he promised in one of his confessionals?
Well, I say his arc is looking better, but I still stick with my original plan that he's going to take the idol home in his pocket.
Is Kelly going to have a bigger role? Kelly Wentworth. Is Kelly Wentworth going to have a bigger role later down the line, or will she? Well, now I don't know. He must be talking about the other Kelly. He spelled it Kelly Wentworth, but I think he's talking about Wigglesworth. Is Kelly going to have a bigger role later down the line, or will she just continue to be a supporting character?
I think she's going to have a bigger role. I mean, especially if anybody goes far, it's going to have a bigger role itself.
All right. That's what he thought.
Well, what I would suggest is next time you add these to the feedback, don't leave them highlighted or in bold print. If you don't want me to know which ones he picks and which ones.
Dude, I said give me the feedback document after you're done with it, and I'll add Miko's to it, and then you hauled off and printed it again.
You didn't say print it before you give it to me. You said you'd add, because I couldn't see it because it was in your email.
Now I know how you win. You always open up my email, don't you? You always open up mine.
If I did, I'd get a perfect score.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't. P.S. I love the fact that both Abby and Cass made the merge. 2 people I was convinced would be the first to go. Please let them stay and show chaos for many more weeks to come. There you go. Oh, crud. I forgot to print up his Nico's challenge. I'm going to have to do it on my phone. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for... Wait, no, it's not. We have one more feedback. Oh. I don't know if y'all know this, but we actually have a telephone line. It's, I think, 8185-TALK-DD, I think is what it is. It's on our feedback page. And we got a message on it, David. So here's the last feedback.
Your telephone number has been pre-selected to receive a complimentary stay in one of our 5-star hotels. For further details, press 1 now. to be placed on a...
Yeah, imagine my surprise. It is time for...
You write them. We read them. iTunes reviews.
Boom, boom. Oh, crud, I deleted his email. I got to go find it. All right, well, your iTunes reviews help people find us on iTunes and encourage us, or me anyway. David doesn't read them. But it encourages me. And they also frustrate me sometimes. 3 new iTunes reviews this week. Ghost Cow Killer. Now that's an iTunes name right there. Ghost Cow Killer. Gave us 5 stars and titled the review Fun Survivor Podcast. Thank you, Ghost Cow Killer. Traveling Tina, who left us a feedback today, gave us 5 stars and titled hers Funny as Heck Podcast. I edited the title. And Momo Auk, someone from New Zealand, gave us 5 stars and titled the review Funny and Informative. Quite insightful, actually. I'm thinking, what, did we surprise you? It's like, see what I mean, Jordan? He's not even listening.
I'm talking to her husband because he's filling up our chat room with comments.
You see, Jordan? I just did Mama Auk. Funny and quite insightful, actually. Like we surprised her. His expression never changed. He did not hear a single thing I said.
I laughed.
Thank
Yes,
you, because you were being a good co-host.
She's no longer being distracted by her husband. I am, because he's filling up our chat room with anti-Spencer comments.
You can read their full reviews and leave us your own by going to our website, scrolling down, and clicking on our logo. And that's...
You write them. We read them. iTunes reviews.
Boom, boom.
That is my favorite song that you play, just so you know.
Oh, is it really?
Yes, I dance to it every time I hear it.
Wait, I didn't see you dancing.
It's more like my head.
We read them. iTunes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
It is time for Mikkel's Challenge.
That's my favorite song.
It is time for Mikkel's Challenge.
Because it's usually followed by frustration and laughter.
Yes, I'm so glad you like that.
So now you've got the chat room, you've got Ian, you've got Mike, and you've got Jordan to help you with these quotes.
No, because I guarantee the chat room is way behind.
Oh, that's right, because they're on a freeze delay.
Yeah, they're like way behind. They're like I could see this little graph, and between 10 o'clock and like 10:15, we lost like so many people because the feed kept going down. So, all right, David, quote number 1. Oh, by the way, David is ahead, 39-30.
I think they knew that. They just.
Quote number home. Let's bring it home for him.
That's Keith talking about Dietz after he leaves.
Duh. Gosh.
Here we go.
See why I get frustrated, Jordan? Is that not one of the easiest quotes ever?
That was an easy one.
See, there you go. Go ahead, David.
I think this one's pretty easy, Jordan. It's hold the phone.
What?
Oh, it was Sierra. She was like,
yeah, it was Sierra.
Hold
the phone. That's right. It was Sierra.
Dwaine, you acting it out after she says it right does not make it that you knew it as well.
No.
It's like Will reliving his predictions after they happen.
All right, so I got one, you got one.
Yeah.
Quote number 2, I love this game, but I love my family so much more.
That was Sierra.
Yes, it was.
She was crying.
Yep.
Quote number 2 for me.
Quote number 2 for Jordan and Dwaine. We all love this game to our core.
Yeah, we know who that was. Don't we, Jordan? Jordan, you go ahead and say.
Well, I remember when it was said.
That's better than me.
That's usually how Dwaine starts when he's stalling.
They were talking about Dietz when Jeff was
yeah.
asking everybody.
We all love this game to our core. Was that Cass? No, wait, because I played her quote and she didn't say that.
I know it wasn't Sierra. Was it Kelly?
Yeah, it was Kelly Wigglesworth. I think it was Wigglesworth.
Yeah, we'll go with Wigglesworth.
Yeah, we're going with Wigglesworth.
It's like a curse, Jordan, when you team up with Dwaine. It doesn't work. It was savage.
Oh. I knew the time it was said at least.
Yes, you're right.
Gosh, what am I going to do with Jordan?
I'm sorry.
Quote number 3. It's a cluster expletive. Really?
Really? Are you kidding me? No way.
Gosh.
That's the easiest one.
See,
Oh, shut up, David.
when I look
Come
at some
on.
of Dwayne's quotes, I make sure they're in the recap and he does not remember them. He's right. His memory is shot.
I don't read your quotes ahead of time, David.
Well, I read it only because I print it out, just so I have it. I'm going to
No, I don't read.
guess.
The reason why I don't read them is because I don't want to be biased when I'm doing the recap.
How can you be biased? They're from me.
Because I would purposely not put them in there. I purposely wouldn't talk about it.
That's the difference. I love you more than you love me. That's all there is to it.
Whatever.
I'm going to go out
Go
on
play
a
with
limb.
Ian.
I'm going to go out on a limb.
You and Ian go play.
And say that, well, Ian's still going on about Fishback losing his man card for crying. I'm going to go out on
Ian,
a
I
limb.
saw you crying out at Durham Warrior Survival Challenge.
Okay, if I say Spencer, can we just move on to the next? Okay. Spencer.
Oh,
That's
yes,
my guess.
it's Spencer.
Ain't going nowhere. Survivor's my game. Spencer is my name.
All right.
I do like that song too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Quote number 3.
Quote number 3.
That's the most perfect equation you can imagine.
Why can't I get that's a cluster expletive?
Yeah, I knew that one. This one, I
Okay.
have no idea.
Please repeat the quote.
That's the most perfect equation you can imagine.
Can you use it in a sentence?
I think that was a sentence.
Can I have its origin, please?
So far, we're in. No, I guess we're not in chronological order because Hold the Phone came after the course. thing.
Okay, who would have said perfect mathematical?
Who was happy this? Who was happy this episode?
Who was Cass was happy. So
I was
Cass.
gonna say Cass because
David, I hate it when you do.
I was thinking Cass before he said that. Just so you know.
I was about to switch to Cass after I said Spencer, and I thought, no, it's probably Cass. And he goes, who is happy this season?
I didn't quite say it
Dwayne,
like
you
that.
need help because you're an idiot.
Okay, do you want me to give you another clue?
No, just tell us it's not Cass.
Okay, it's not Cass. Do you still want to guess Cass? Or?
Yes, we've already guessed Cass.
Who was on a Survivor High this week?
Just tell us.
Oh, Savage.
Savage. He
Oh.
said after all that stuff happened with the tribe swap, it was perfect. He got Woo and he got Abby.
Oh yeah, I remember
And
that.
he had Sierra back and Cass. He had his 5 set. He was good to go. Okay, Dwayne, do you want to continue or just forfeit?
No.
now?
I don't. But I
Number
will.
4.
Number 4. How the heck, and yes, I edited it, how the heck is this tribe going to work out?
That was Spencer.
Yeah,
Was that-
it was.
Okay.
Gosh.
I'm going nowhere.
You know what?
Okay, you'll get
Go
this
ahead.
one. You'll get this one. You gotta have confidence.
Well, that was Jeremy, and you didn't have to act like him for me. to- Quote number 5. Yes, I am frustrated.
No.
It is my second chance. It could be my last chance.
Gee,
Dun,
like
dun,
5
dun.
people said that, seems like.
Yeah, it's about time you get one of these.
Is that Savage again?
Is that your final answer?
Sure.
Sierra.
I knew that one.
Yes.
Actually, I thought it was Woo for a second.
Yes.
This is Kelly Wentworth from
That's
Survivor.
still my favorite intro of all time.
That
Sometimes
is a
I
good
just
one.
sometimes I just play it in the car.
Well, she said we could use it.
Just over and over and over again. Hi, this is Kelly Wentworth.
Okay, who's next? My next? I'm next.
Listen to.
Quote number 5. Some of us has to go to work before
Hey.
you in the morning.
Hey man, favorite part of the episode? Cast oiling up. That's all I'm saying. Just kidding. Just
You're
kidding.
tired, I can tell.
Oh, Wendy Zell said that Tasha said oil up, but it was Kelly Wentworth that
Kelly
said
Wentworth,
oil up. It was not Tasha that said it. Talking about Joe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, quote number 5
Here we go.
for Jordan and Dwayne.
For Jordan and Dwayne.
I don't have doubts about tonight. Seriously, it's taking you this long to come. Oh, come on.
Okay, Jordan, I think it's probably Savage. What? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Savage.
For those of you listening and not watching, she's nodding her head to confirm that.
Yeah.
She also said yes. For those of you not listening.
That's correct. That is correct. It is Savage.
Oh, we got it right.
Yes, you got it right.
Woohoo!
Miracles can happen.
That's 2 for Sierra, 1 for Dwaine. I mean, I'm sorry, 2
Sierra.
for Jordan. Well, that was the name of the first one. 2 for Jordan,
I've
1
seen
for Dwaine.
Jordan, and she's not Sierra.
I didn't know Sierra was playing.
Yeah, she's in the chat.
See, David, Jordan and I are closer than you are with Jordan because we sat in the back of this vehicle that
Yes, we did.
she was holding 2 plates of food, and we were going on the back.
And poor Dwayne's like hip bone was.
Oh man, I felt violated by this thing.
That was the worst ride I've ever been on.
So we have a connection. That and we talked about you all the time.
I got one sentence from Jordan over 3 days. It was, "I know who you are." So that was the only sentence I got. By the way, I know who you are.
If I said something to David that I would accidentally ruin something for him, so I was like, "Don't talk to David. Don't talk to David."
Actually, I think anything you would have said to him couldn't have done anything but help his game. I actually, all honesty, I got my camera out and I pushed record and I said, "Why in the world would you let him in the tent with all those Survivor players? Don't you think that's stupid?" And he goes, "Oh no." That's like, "Oh, you idiot."
That's not what I said. I said, anyway, let's go back to the game.
Said there ain't nothing to worry about. Ain't nothing, no problem.
They'd already talked to him by then anyway. He just wanted to sleep. Well, I'm not going to mess up the guy's perfect night. He got to hang out with 4 survivors.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
I was already dead
got
at that point
out.
anyway. I was already dead at that point
You
anyway.
got voted out.
My game was over at that point. I knew it.
Yep, they had already talked about voting.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Jordan, do you remember the confessional where David comes up all sneaky? Dwayne,
Yes.
come here. And I do the whole thing, and I record it, and then he walks away, and I turned around, and I went, "He's delusional."
Yeah. Yeah, we were both just like, "Oh, David."
Yeah, it was so fun. Oh, sorry, David. All right. It's nice to see you fail at something. All right. Quote number 6. Oh.
I feel like it's an easy one.
Oh, it feels like I'm finally in tune with this game.
That sounds like what Dwayne said about Woo saying.
Yeah. I'm going to start reading these things from now on, and my recap is going to be adversely affected.
It's going to be half as long. Mine's longer because I've got the quotes in them. All right, quote number 6. You'll get this one.
All right.
I'm not wavering from that at all.
That was Spencer, right? Didn't Spencer or Abby?
I don't know. No, Abby didn't say anything this episode.
She wasn't wavering from the vote for Woo. Right? Wasn't that what they were talking about?
Who did she say that to?
Weren't they all sitting there like Spencer, Abby, Sierra, Kat,
Okay.
and they were saying.
All right. Hey, we're gonna go with Abby. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Abby.
Trust the kindergarten teacher. Abby is the correct.
Yes.
Which I would never have gotten because I didn't think she spoke at all this episode.
Yeah.
I just remember.
That's the Shekowitz for you. Obviously not Native American. Wait, that didn't come out right. In other words, whatever. What's his origin? What's his ethnicity?
It's Ukrainian.
Ukrainian. What the heck is he doing over here? He's playing ping pong. Messing up David. All right. Go ahead, David. Jordan and I are ready. Oh, wait. It's your turn.
I just did one.
Quote number 7. Strategically, I'm in a good spot.
Wow.
I know this one, Jordan. I know this one.
I'm going to guess strategically I'm in a good spot.
Do you know this one, Jordan? Do you know
I have no idea.
I don't.
could be several people, but I'm trying to think who felt like they were strategically in a good spot.
Yeah, David, think about
I can't think about it. So I'm going to guess Wu. You see, Wu or Savage is my guess because they're the ones most confident.
it. Yeah, it's either Wu or Savage.
So it's not them. I don't know. I'll say Wu. I don't think it is though. I have no idea who said that.
Oh.
David, you are incorrect.
That's who I would have guessed too.
It was Joe, the most unlikely person.
Really?
Yes.
Good gracious.
By the way, Joe's mom bought one of our shirts, and she wants us to sign it.
Oh.
And I'm not even going to tell you what she wants us to put on it.
You know what? I'm Facebook friends with them, and they are like the nicest people.
Aren't they?
My gosh.
They're so friendly.
So nice. Yes, they are.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So, anyway.
Okay, quote number 7. You ready?
Yes, we're ready.
I'm putting everything into winning Survivor.
You know, David, obviously it was Fishback.
Okay. Hey, you got that one good.
Yeah, because you went, which is just patronizing. It's no fun being on the other end of a patronizing person.
You mean like someone keeps talking about the delusional scene in Maine 5,000 times on the air?
That's not being patronizing. That's having fun at your expense.
Well, this is my way of having fun at your expense.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Look at that. We just lost a viewer because you were mean to me.
Because I was delusional.
Oh, wait. We just gained one back. All right. Here we go. Oh, is it my turn?
Yes.
Oh, I can't believe this. I am going to start reading these before recap. If everything goes according to plan, we're going to vote Spencer.
Once again, it's got to be Wu or Savage, and I'll just go Wu again.
Oh, really? Like you don't know? It was Wu, obviously.
Okay. Quote number 8, because it's almost tomorrow. Quote number 8. I know what you want to do, though. That's criminal. Anyone do that to you?
What was the quote again?
I know what you want. There are so many answers I could give.
I know what you want to do, though.
That's what Joe said when he was trying to pick up Kelly in the... Forget it. Okay. You know what, David?
What did you say to Mikko to make him give you that quote?
Did you see how Jordan was a great co-host and laughed even when it wasn't funny? You just sat there and let me look like an idiot, which isn't hard to do. All right. Say the quote again.
Was I supposed to change from the normal? Okay.
Oh, shut up.
I know what you want, though. I know what you want to do, though.
Oh, wait. I remember that. That was Savage. He said that to Cass.
Oh, like in the shelter?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go, Savage.
Okay. It's Savage.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's what I'm talking about.
Way to go.
Wow. You know, I go on so many emotional highs and lows during this challenge. It's like this challenge is going to make me bipolar. I wasn't bipolar.
That was
before. Yeah. I wasn't bipolar before Mikko's challenge, but I am now. All right, here we go.
Yeah, you don't need a monster drink. You just need to get one right. That'll do it for you. Go ahead.
All right. I mean business.
I mean business. Oh, that's Savage.
Nope, it was Andrew.
What's it? I was like, no, that's Savage.
At first I was like, wait, who's Andrew?
I cracked myself up. I think we're gonna get some complaints. But hey, if you've been listening this long, then you already know what you're getting into.
Well, you're a fan of Jordan, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Quote number 9. This one's tough, so you need to listen.
Number 9.
You'd have to be a parent to understand.
That was Cass.
Jordan, do you agree?
Yeah.
Then you were both correct.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo!
You got like 6 in a row at the end.
Yeah, Jordan and I, really rocked the place.
Good team.
Jordan and Dwaine rocking Mikko's challenge.
We're not done. You got to fill in the blanks.
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
Question number 1. What 3 things were included? Are you kidding? Again, I said the answer during the podcast. What were the 3 things included in the reward? Gosh.
That would be
Gosh.
fried chicken, mac and cheese, and
Yes.
brownies the size of fist. I'll take 3 points for the answer. Thank you. All right, your first question.
Fist your face.
Your first question.
Go ahead.
Who scored points for Takeo in the reward challenge?
Hey, is Jordan frozen?
She might
Ian
be.
did something to Jordan's. Ian, that was not nice. Okay, Jordan's gone. I don't know why. Go ahead, David. What was it again?
Who scored points for Takeo in the reward challenge? The slip and slide ring toss. Who scored points for Takeo?
How in the world is that possibly equal in difficulty?
Because he tried to find something with 3 in it. So who scored the 3 for the green?
I don't even know which tribe was Takeo.
The one that won. Who won
Okay.
reward?
So Wigglesworth, Abby. Wigglesworth and Abby and Wigglesworth and Abby. I know that.
Yep, that's 2.
Oh, where are my notes when I need them? Wigglesworth, Abby. Who all was on Takeo? Help me out.
Spencer, Savage, and Wu. And then you got Sierra, Cass, Kelly, and Abby.
Oh, Cass.
Exactly. Beat Fishback.
Woohoo! That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
3 points.
All right. I'm inviting her back. Just a second.
Okay.
Let's see. All right.
Mhm.
Your next question. Last question. Who won the individual matchups at the immunity challenge? Name 3.
Tasha won the last one.
That's 1.
Wu won 1 over
That's
Kimmy.
right.
And Kelly Wentworth went twice, and I think she won 1 by herself.
All right. You're right.
So-
And then the last one was Kelly Wigglesworth.
Oh, yeah. Beat Joe.
Okay.
All right, your question number 2. Who were the 3 people who finished first in the pair matchups at the immunity challenge?
What?
There were 3 pair challenges.
Yeah.
Who finished first?
Oh,
overall?
Jeremy, Tasha. Jeremy and Tasha, and there's the saboteur behind her.
Sorry. Oh.
I see him. He's back there. He's the saboteur. He was sent by CBS. All right. Who were the first to win the challenge in the couples eating? Jeremy, Andrew Savage, and Tasha are 3, and I will get 3 points for them.
Okay, the
That's
question
what
is,
you're doing right now?
of the pairs, when there were 3 pair challenges,
Mhm.
who were the 3 people who finished first overall in the pair matchups at the immunity challenge? Not necessarily who won.
I know.
Who finished first?
Jeremy, Andrew Savage, because they did the fist pump, and Tasha.
Okay, are you listening to the question? Of each pair matchup, who finished first?
I know. Jeremy won first with
There
him
were
and Keith.
3 separate challenges of pairs.
3 different foods. The 3 different foods, right?
Oh, so it's
Yes.
not first in their pair.
Thank you, David,
Yeah.
for not letting me screw up again. Because someone's not listening.
All right, well, Jordan,
Yes.
we have Tasha and Jeremy. Who is the other one?
Who was the last? What was the other pairs that went?
Oh, I'm gonna say let's just guess Wiggles. Let's guess Wigglesworth. Why not?
Was she in a pair?
I don't know. I don't have any idea, so I'm guessing.
All right, let's go. Go with Wigglesworth.
Wigglesworth.
All right.
All
One of the pairs was Spencer and Wu, and Spencer was the first to finish. Another pair was Fishback and Kelly against Sierra and Cass, or somebody. Might have been Fishback and Cass. but Steven finished first in that group, and Savage finished before Jeremy, according to Miko, in that challenge.
All right.
So you got 0.
I do remember Steven.
Whoa! I got 0?
You got 0. Of the 3 groups, one person finished first of the 4 people.
I don't need to hear anymore. We're over 2 hours. I just lost. Jordan left me in the middle of the game.
I'm sorry. The power went completely out. I was like, what happened?
All right. That was Miko's challenge, ladies and gentlemen.
By the way, Mike K got all 3 right. So
of course he did.
I do remember Steven finishing first because I said, hey, he's like Cochran. Cochran was horrible at challenges, but when it came to the food challenges, he did well.
Yeah, and then Spencer finished first. I remember that one. I wasn't sure who finished first between Jeremy and Savage.
All right. After every episode, our wonderful, wonderful helper, Shayna Horst, also a D&D blogger, spends at least 2 hours going back over the episode and counting up all the D&D Survivor Challenge points. She has done so again for episode 6, and David is going to tell us the results.
What did you call her, Shayna what?
Shayna Horst. What? What's her last name?
It was Davis.
Davis, yes. Shayna Davis.
Wow. Play Savage.
I need to go to bed.
Kelly finished with 11 points. Spencer got 21. Steven got 14. Andrew got 14. That's Andrew Savage, not Andrew.
Are you doing it by team or what? I mean,
what do you want me to do?
I don't.
Just our points. Dwayne's team, Dwaine and Steve finished up with 65 points this week.
Oh.
And David and Andy, because Spencer and Wu were the main people on the block at the end, so all the professionals, got 79 points.
Wait, y'all beat us this week?
This week, yes.
All right.
This week.
Overall score, though.
Overall score, the Nerd Herd sits 1 point shy of 500 at 499. The Cool Cats at 1 point over 500 at 501.
Wow.
After 6 weeks, 2 points separate the Nerd Herd and the Cool Cats.
All right.
Which is probably as close as it's ever going to be again.
Yeah. If you want all the individual points, I mean, because you're not going to remember them when he's saying them, but David can tell them to you. But remember, you go to our website, you scroll down, there's a nice button in the middle, go there, and they'll be updated. Go ahead, David, go through their points.
They won't put them off here. It'll be easier to go to the website.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have time.
All right. Well, we want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Jordan, for joining us.
You're welcome. Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I'm sorry that your husband was such a bad boy during the show.
I know. I apologize for him.
That's okay. He laughs and smiles so much. That's one thing I remember about Ian, is every time I saw him, he was laughing and smiling about something.
Yep, that's what everybody says about him.
I mean,
smiley guy.
You walk up to Ian and go, "Wow, look at the roach." He's going, "Yeah, I know. There's a roach." He's always smiling and laughing about something. Gotta love him. Of course, a huge thank you to all of our D&D patrons who support us monthly with as little as $1 a month. They also enjoy some decent perks. We also want to thank you for shopping Amazon. Hopefully you do so after you look at our website. Don't know why. If you want Survivor Talk all week long, join the Facebook group, stwdd.com/Facebook, and follow us on Twitter at Survivor_Talk. And check out our 4 bloggers. I think Brian Mars already has his blog up, David.
Yep, he does.
And one thing I like about Brian's is he puts big pictures in it. You know? So, gotta love that. So, while you're out there, check out our other podcast, Movie Talk with D&D. We just did Top Gun. And so go take a listen to that. And, of course, again, Amazon. In fact, I think they're doing, I mean, it's the holidays. You know, holidays are coming up. Shop Amazon, and you know how to get there. So, any final words, David?
Nope, another great episode there. 6 for 6 so far this season.
How about you, Jordan?
I agree with David.
She agrees with David.
Next time she wants to team with David, so anyway.
Yeah. Thanks again for listening, everybody. That is all I've got. How about you, Dave?
I'm good.
How about you, Jordan?
I'm good.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
See ya.